In the first video we did about this great man, the two books that he wrote, A Brief History and later on Universe in a Nutshell, which tells us about universe, God, space and time. We were also told about how he was diagnosed at an early age with a devastating disease. Let us do further on the different books that he wrote. In 2005, Hawking authored the even more accessible A Briefer History of Time, which further signified the original work's core concepts and touched upon the newest developments in the field like string theory. Together, these three books, along with Hawking's own research and papers, articulate the physicist's personal search for science's holy grail, a single unifying theory that can combine cosmology, the study of the big, with quantum mechanics, the study of the small, to explain how the universe began. It's this kind of ambitious thinking that has allowed Hawking, who claims he can think in 11 dimensions, to lay out some big possibilities for humankind. He's convinced that time travel is possible and that humans may indeed colonize other planets in the future. Very important findings are told in this particular passage class. Two books we already did. He wrote another book in the year 2005 called A Briefer History of Time, which once again went to the core concept, the innermost findings of what is space, what is time, what is God, what the future holds for man. And this new finding, he did it and it was called as a string theory. What is string theory? I will show it to you in the picture later on. These three books of his went on to play a very profound role in the history of science worldwide. He also added other papers of research, which he calls it as the Holy Grail, something which is, usually we call Holy Grail as something very spiritual, something very exceptional or very divine. But he calls this because this is something which went on to change the belief in religion, in belief in God. And he says out over here that there is a single theory, a unifying theory that combines the entire cosmology, that combines the entire universe, as we can call it. Something very large to something very small called quantum. All these are very difficult terminologies, class, until and unless you don't do a profound research in physics or read about him in deeper sense, one may not understand it. But Hawking always said that he went on to think in 11 dimensions. Now, what is the meaning of that? The world that we know is made up of three dimensions according to us as of now. Okay, that is, it's the three dimensions that are present in space. Accordingly, we have the length, the width, and the depth. These are the three dimensions. But string theory goes on to state that there are 10 dimensions. Okay, and one and only accordingly only one dimension is there in time. But Stephen Hawking goes on to break this belief and says that no, there are 11 dimensions and one can think in 11 dimensions. One has to be a real genius, class, to think accordingly. And probably Stephen Hawking was one of it. So another thing that he said was he was convinced that man can be a time traveler. If you get a chance, watch the movie called Time Traveler. It's an English movie. That movie will tell you how man can travel. These are the beliefs. We do not know whether this can really happen. Probably it may happen in the near future. Time travel means where you are in the 20th, 21st century, you can make your brain travel to probably the future or maybe to the past. How far this is possible, we do not know. But this is what Stephen Hawking says it is possible. And he says probably one day man will colonize other planets in the future. Very important, he has made a statement colonize. That means man will go and build homes and will rule other planets. Already that is happening. We are seeing that man is trying to find out whether can he live on other planets like the Mars. He's already trying to find out can man live on the moon. So already the possibilities are being seen. Maybe in the near future, maybe our next generations, this possibility is going to take place that Stephen Hawking has already put forward in his theories. You have the book out, dear class, the one which he wrote, A Briefer History of Time. This is the third book that he had written. Okay. This is what the string theory of in physics tell us. Probably it's very difficult as lay people for you and me to understand. It says in physics, string theory is theoretical. It's not a fact, it's a theory, just a belief. Theoretical framework in which the point like particles of particle physics are replaced by one dimensional object called strings. String theory describes how these strings expand through space and interact with each other. This is what the string theory says. Let's move further with what this great man tells us. In September 2010, Hawking spoke against the idea that God could have created the universe in his book, The Grand Design. Hawking previously argued that belief in a creator could be compatible with modern scientific theories. His new work, however, concluded that the Big Bang was the inevitable consequence of the laws of physics and nothing more. Because there is a law such as gravity, the universe can and will create itself from nothing. Hawking said, spontaneous creation is the reason there is something rather than nothing, why the universe exists, why we exist. The Grand Design was Hawking's first major publication in almost a decade. Within his new work, Hawking set out to challenge Sir Isaac Newton's belief that the universe had to have been designed by God, simply because it could not have been born from chaos. This particular passage can be class something which will make us also think. We have learned through religion, through our parents, through our elders, that earth was created by God. But Stephen Hawking, in his book The Grand Design, challenges this, and he even goes to challenge Isaac Newton, because Isaac Newton was a very profound Catholic who believed that the earth was created by God. It cannot be created in a chaos, not just out of nothing. But Stephen Hawking contradicts, goes on to say the opposite. He says probably there is a force which human beings have named it God, but it is not in the form of a human being. You can say Stephen Hawking was more of an atheist, someone who does not believe in religion. He believed that the earth was created because of physics, because of the Big Bang theory, which you have learned in science. He says there is gravity on the earth, and therefore, this gravity is always going to keep on creating things. It is going to keep on making the universe exist and man exist. There is nothing going to be the end for it till this gravity is there. And that is what he believed in. That is what his theory says. And that's what he wrote in the book called The Grand Design. And he says probably this concept of a force called God may coexist, compatible with modern scientific theory, may coexist. But he says still there is something that is called as spontaneous creation. So, this is something which he told class, something probably for us it may take a long time to understand. These are the various books, the 5 books. He has written 15 and many more papers he has put forward. But some of the very 5 books which went on to become very famous are the ones which are put forward out here. In my next video, I will go on to tell you, or we will learn more about Stephen Hawking as to how he suffered from the disease. What did he do to become more courageous? What made him more courageous? And what did he believe that made him write these books, that made the world to rethink about the universe, about space, about time, and more about God. So, meet you in the next session class. Take care. God bless you.